Welcome to Brand You.
The ultimate personal branding podcast.
I'm Kaz Grant.
And I'm Toby Lee.
Together, we're here to help demystify personal branding
and to make it accessible and effective for everyone.
Follow along as we guide you through creating your own personal branding journeys.
So, let's get started.
Let's brand you.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to a new series of the Brand You podcast. Today we're going to be jumping in, talking about LinkedIn. How can you leverage the opportunities that are out there and make sure you're making the most of what is a really great platform? I was not on LinkedIn for a long time as a photographer, and it was actually when my sort of clients and target audience moved from actors and performers to businesses that I realised it's probably somewhere I need to check out and somewhere I need to see what it's all about.
Absolutely. I've only just joined a year and a half. Not joined, because I feel like there's a lot of the LinkedIn community that have been on LinkedIn for years.
Yeah.
But we've just not done anything.
Had an account.
Had an account.
And that's it.
Maybe got a profile photo from 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But never been on the platform since. And I do wonder how many messages these people have that they have not replied to yet. But so that was me. So I only stepped onto it about a year and a half ago and actively decided to take control of it and start posting. And it's not like, I'm not going to sit here and go, I've got 50,000 followers in a year, but I've got nearly 4,000 now active people following me on LinkedIn. And I have some great conversations with those people. And it's opened up a lot of doors to conversations that I wouldn't have had before. But also it's when I walk into a room now, people know who I am and they recognize me and they know instantly they've got a conversation starter with me. So they'll come and approach me. So it's that like doorway into rooms that you never even thought existed or that you could get into.
And that's a really nice feeling, isn't it? When you're kind of recognized. Or certainly when you recognise someone, you know, you go into a room and you kind of think, oh, I do know that person, or I know what they're about, and you can start that conversation immediately based on content you might have seen that they've shared or mutual interests or whatever it might be. It helps to break the ice, doesn't it?
Yeah, make it easier for people, guys, because sometimes you go to networking events and you want to try and speak to people, but it's like, oh, who are they? What do they do? How are they? It's a bit awkward. But actually, again, if you know the person or you feel like, you know, you can go up to them and say, oh, I really like that post you did the other day, or I really like this, so I loved your opinion on that. I'd love to get more of it. And it opens up the doors, doesn't it?
Yeah. And we were just talking before starting the recording this episode of, I sort of said, never underestimate those people that you don't know are watching you, but they are, you know, and it just gives even more reason to kind of implement the things that we're going to speak about today, about making sure your profiles are utilised, you know, making sure you're engaging with people, because I've had quite a few messages recently about, you know, booking in for calls to find out more about headshots and how that works from people that I'm not connected with. They say they've followed some of my content and posts, but they've never liked, never commented, you know, never interacted. So there are a lot of people using LinkedIn in a kind of silent way, aren't there?
So the people that I affectionately call, Toby, the lurkers.
The lurkers. The LinkedIn lurkers.
I say that like...
They sound like a terrible American football team.
I know, right? It's such a horrible, or like a weird word to call people lurkers, but they're the people that are watching you without you actually knowing, because again, they haven't liked anything, they haven't done anything, but it's often the lurkers that are the ones that will want your services or will pass you on to somebody else or will connect you or will want to chat and meet up for a coffee. It's the strangest thing, but almost like it's really good as well, because you think sometimes when you're on a platform linked like LinkedIn, and you are consistently putting out content, and you do see the growth and you do see things increasing and you do see conversations increasing, but sometimes you don't see it increasing quite as much as you think you should, because again, everyone wants to go from naught to viral. But you then start to get people like that content to you. You're like, it is working.
Yes,
Something is coming from this. What I'm putting out is of value. It's great. It's starting these conversations. I'm on the right track. So I love the lurkers. I really do. Like, I think they're brilliant. What I'd like to do is encourage some of the lurkers to stop hiding.
Yeah.
And maybe they're the ones that are on LinkedIn right now, because actually I see a lot of it blows my mind actually. And only a year and a half ago, I was one of them and I wasn't on the platform. So I get it and I understand it. But now I've used the platform for a year and a half and I've seen how powerful LinkedIn can be.
Yeah.
I'm like, why isn't everybody on here? Why isn't everyone on here doing it, showing up, sharing stuff? And I'll go onto a profile and I'll think, oh, this person looks really interesting. And I'll go on there and I'll have a little look and I'll be like, wow, great profile photo, lovely bio. Oh, this person's got a lot to nothing. They've shared nothing. What?
Yeah,
I want to know a bit. I want to know a bit more about them. Like I could potentially work with them, collaborate with them. I could refer them on to people. Like, but I don't know if I can or not because I don't know anything about them or what they do. Yes, you've got your job title, but job titles don't explain what you do anymore, really. They don't explain if I could work with you or help you out, or like you could have some weird and wonderful job titles that I know nothing about, but I could be your absolute person to connect you with the right people. But I don't know that because I can't see anything on your profile. And I just think so many people are wasting it. And they're going on to platforms like Instagram or TikTok. And they might be showing up on there a little bit, but most of the time on those platforms, we're getting stuck into scroll holes and we're wasting more of our time on those platforms. So again, are we utilizing those platforms correctly, or are we wasting our time scrolling on platforms that are never going to give us any benefit when we should flip it to look at LinkedIn if our ideal audience is on LinkedIn? And actually use that platform and start online networking. And that's really what LinkedIn's all about, isn't it? Online networking.
Yeah, absolutely. It's almost trying to like see all your connections as being like an online networking room, isn't it? And that every time you open the app or the website, you're stepping in there. You can either choose to share value or you can choose to engage with other people and what they've shared, and try and be a really proactive member in order to get the most out of the platform. But you're absolutely right. When you talk about incomplete profiles, it's amazing how it takes something so small to instantly go, well, you know what, I've sort of switched off from this person, or there's a question now over the trust or credibility. It can also look slightly lazy as to why they haven't bothered to complete their profile, and like you say, you just want to find out more. Like the fact you've clicked through is a good sign because there was something that engaged you and now you can't continue that journey.
What are they missing out on? By not having their profile complete, by not being visible on that platform. Because I think people are on LinkedIn, again, for different reasons, to maybe just entertainment and scrolling and fun on some of the other platforms. They're on there to help other people get ahead in the business or in life. They're on there to buy things or get services from people and stuff like that. So it is a really valuable platform to be on. If you've got something to offer the world, be on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guess that's a great place for us to start then. So if anybody's listened to this right now and has thought, okay, let me see. First of all, I'd encourage them to go on their LinkedIn if they've already got one and just have a look. Like what? How have you left it since the last 6 months, 10 years that you were on the platform? Does it represent the person that you are now? So let's encourage listeners, I guess, at the start to do a profile audit if they've got one, or think about a new profile if they haven't. But we're looking at then so somebody goes onto your LinkedIn, first impressions count. What profile photo have you got on there? I use the term professional catfishing a lot when I'm giving talks. Are you professionally catfishing people? And if you don't know what catfishing is, it's where you pretend to be someone that you're not, usually in the dating scene. And then you meet them for a coffee and it's like, oh my God, you look nothing like your profile photo. So again, are you doing that professionally? Do you look like the person that you look like? Because again, if you want to build relationships and want to get speaking gigs and want to go for one-to-one coffees, maybe with some of these connections to get work, business through your doors, you want to look like the person they're going to meet. You don't want them to walk into a cafe and be like, where are they? What is that them? Oh, do I go? What if it's not them? Is it them? Just make it as easy as possible for people to see it. And you're the photographer guy. You are, this is your bag. How important is a profile photo?
Oh, so important. It's funny that you're talking about being recognizable though, because I met someone for a coffee the other day that we'd only spoken and connected online. And it's really funny that he recognised me, we got chatting, and then we stood ordering a coffee, and he just looks at me and goes, "You're so much taller than I thought you'd be." And I thought it was so funny because how you can't really give scale online, can you, in terms of photos or videos? I was thinking like, what impression did you have of me? How did you come to that conclusion that I would be such and such a height? But yeah, it's really funny, isn't it? It's the amount of times I've kind of met people online, or even worse, not realise that I have connected or messaged people online, and when I come to meet them in person, they know who I am, but I don't necessarily recognise them because actually their photo's outdated or something like that. And you feel bad for it, but really it's an onus to keep all those things updated, isn't it?
Do more. Yeah. Be more active on the platform. Keep everything updated, because again, it happens to me as well. It's a horrible feeling because I'm like, I should know. Do I? Should I know you? Shouldn't I know you? Oh my gosh, you know me.
Yeah.
Really? So, yeah, you're that person, but I don't have a clue because you're not putting out on the platform though. Like if you were, I'd be seeing it and I'd know, and I'd be like, oh yeah. It's happening a lot at the moment since I've joined this new gym, and it's really funny because I feel like the new gym that I've joined is an extension of the Lincoln business scene. Everybody from the business scene seems to be, everyone from my LinkedIn, I'm meeting in real life in this gym, and it's hilarious. But I was in the sauna the other day, and I walked in and I sat down. Someone instantly started talking to me. It's like, "Oh, you've joined this gym then, have you?" And I was like, "Yeah." "Yes, I have. Yeah. Oh, you tried Everlast though, didn't you? You tried this, you tried all these." And it was like, really, he was like, "Okay, so you really know. You are following me on some platform. You really know me." And then we were chatting, and then he said, I said, "Oh, so what do you do?" He said, "Oh, leaflets and whatever." And I was like, I did not know that, because are you sharing that? Are you not? But then I found him afterwards on LinkedIn, and again, he does share a little bit, but not as much as I share of me. So again, there's like that. Yeah. So it was a bit like, oh gosh, do I know? And then there's been loads of times recently. And then I was sat in there as well. And he introduced me to a person next to me, sat next to me in the sauna. And I was like, oh, hi. He's like, "Oh yeah, we've spoken on LinkedIn. I'm blah blah." And I was like, "You don't look like..." But it's a sauna, so it's difficult. It's dark. It's a different environment. So there's an element of that. But I'm like, if I'm being recognised in a sauna, then I am definitely showing enough and the right stuff of me online that people will recognise me in a coffee shop. It's a funny example, but it's like, will they recognise? And that instant, like even in a new environment, in a new sauna, in a new place I haven't been before, people are coming to me to talk to me. They're opening up conversations. And again, it started on LinkedIn as a bit of a networking and stuff, but then actually they then meet me in person. That rapport is built more, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's what we want to make people do in a way with our LinkedIn profiles. It's like opening the doors, getting visible. People recognise us, know us, start those conversations, and then you never know where they'll lead along the line.
You never know.
No. So profile photo, I went off on a tangent then.
Well, I mean, the last thing I throw in on profile photo is, it's not, when I talk about keeping things up to date, it's not just aesthetically either.
Yeah.
It's about your goals. Does your photo still align with what you want to be represented as? Because that does change. A lot of recent clients I've had in the studio have, their objectives for getting new photos has been, I've been seen as this up to now, but now I want to be taken seriously and seen as, for public speaking roles, or, just taking business to the next level or appealing to a different demographic. I need to show myself as something else. So your goals are constantly changing, aren't they? So
yeah. So this is the thing, I guess. We're talking about this now as well. This is an upkeep.
Yeah.
This isn't you do all these changes and that's it. You never have to change anything again for another 10 years on LinkedIn. Like, keep it updated all the time. Keep reviewing. Every 6 months, every year, have a little look. How am I coming across on there? Is it what I want to come across as or not?
Yeah.
Do I need to tweak something or not? Yeah, and it is that evolution and that level up. I almost wish that I'd kept, and Facebook was good at this, wasn't it? Because you keep all your Facebook profile photos. So I can see an evolution of Kaz over my Facebook years to now, and I'm thinking, whoa, like, who was that person that long ago? But LinkedIn doesn't quite do that, does it? It doesn't save the profile photo. So it's a shame, because you could probably see over time yourself professionally develop just through your visuals and through your photos. So interesting. So we've got profile photo. The other, I guess while we're on photos, the other image is the banner, isn't it?
Yeah.
What would you say to anyone on the banner?
I'd say it's
Cover image
a
banner.
great opportunity to add more information. So I encourage, if you're a personal brand, certainly get another photo of you in there. You know, something that says something slightly different, a bit more personality, and then you've also got that space to use the text on your banner to either add more contact details, maybe a quotation, or you know, just something that again gives us more information about who you are and why you do what you do.
Yeah, absolutely. The one thing I'd say on the text on the banner is, for people, have a think, your profile photo covers some of that banner.
Yes, yeah.
So when you're creating it on Canva or whatever tool you're using, you've got the whole rectangular space. When that's on your profile photo, don't put your text that you want everybody to read under that profile photo side of it. Make it all the other side of it, which is, as you look at it, the right side. Put everything there or in the middle, because your profile photo will cover it. I've seen some people where it's like half your emails chopped off. It's like, oh, that's such a shame. Like, just twist it, just turn it around. So you try and do that with a cover photo. But again, great space to show your personality, colours, different things. Like, again, how do you want to come across? What do you want people to initially see? And then bio. So again, bio, great section. Lots of people are just putting sort of their business title, they're like the title of what they do. If I did that with Quirk, just put brand account manager. What is a brand account? What does it do? What does it mean? What does it mean? So you've got to go a bit more in depth there. If it is something that's maybe a bit more like confusing to people, obviously like astronaut is an easy one, astronaut. You can still add more to that to make it more playful, show your personality, but it says what it does on the tin. Your one's great, because again, it says what you do on the tin, and your link and everything is like headshot Toby, like on all of your profiles and stuff. So again, it says what you do on the tin. Pretty clear, yeah.
Fingers crossed.
You can use emojis if you want to and stuff like that, just to make it your own kind of thing. And then the other thing that I see on the initial top part of the profile, sometimes I'll click to the contact us section, contact me section, click on it. It's got your email address, your personal one from 5 years ago. What's your business one? What contact details do you want people to get you on? What's your updated website? What's your updated email address? What's your updated phone number? Make it as easy as possible for someone to contact you. Yes, I know LinkedIn has a message button, so people can do that. Humans are lazy. If we're on something online, we want to click on it and make the thing done straight away, don't we? We don't want to have to come off of that to go to a message, to then message someone. Just make it as easy as possible for someone to click through. And then I think the last thing really there's lots of aspects to your profile. Lots of aspects to your profile that you can fill in and you can do, and obviously make it as optimized as possible. But the other part is the about section. We'll give people a little bit more information about you. And the number one thing I see people doing wrong on that section is they copy and paste the CV and they pop it there. Bob Smith is a capable and adaptable, versatile member of the blah, 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 has been in project management for 500 years and is an agile, blah, 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 blah,
All
blah.
the classic CV buzzwords of, you know,
I switched off.
hard worker and resilient and driven.
Oh, get it out of there. Or use some of those words, but put it again in your own words, not as the CV and not as the third person. Because this is your profile. Why are you saying Bob Smith is a... It's you saying it. So it looks weird.
Well, the thing is, we say it in third person, don't we? Because we perhaps don't feel like we can big ourselves up in that sense. But actually, if you were to take all those buzzwords out, we assume everyone's professional. We would assume that everyone has those qualities. Until proven otherwise. You know, you want to assume that if you're contacting if you're contacting me as a photographer, you're going to assume that I am pretty confident, can make you feel comfortable and relaxed
Yeah.
and settled. Like, I don't need to be telling you that again and again and again, because every other photographer is probably preaching that as well. So it's more about what is it that makes you different. Shout about those things in your about section.
Yeah. How you help people.
Yeah.
Like, what's the thing why would someone come to you over somebody else? What's so different about you? What's your USP, your unique selling point? Pop that in there. And again, at the bottom of the about section, make sure you put your contact details as well. Again, okay, they might not be able to click on it. They might not be, but again, it's there. Pop it everywhere that you can. They know how to get in contact with you if they need it, or if they share your profile with someone else, they know. So that's kind of profile in the nuts and bolts of it. Obviously, you've got your work sections down below. Again, make sure that your work is the work that you want to be showing, or the dates are filled in correctly and stuff, so people can see that what's got you to that point. But everything else then, that's your profile essentially set up. So if somebody from an external person goes onto that profile, they can clearly see who you are, what they do, what you do, how you can help them. Boom. Whether they want to look further, have a conversation with you, open a door to your world or not. And you're not after everybody, are we? So it doesn't have to be perfect for everyone, but think about your ideal audience with some of these things. So what would they want to see? What person do you need to be for them to resonate with it all? So that's that. And then I guess the other thing then with LinkedIn is content, and moving on to the content side of it. And I think a lot of people get put off again with LinkedIn because it's a professional platform. So we need to do professional posts all the time, and I need to sound like a corporate robot and like I really, really, really know what I'm doing, because otherwise no one will trust me. Actually, it's so off-putting. There's a lot of profiles out there that are not getting a lot of eyes on them, visibility, because they're just sharing boring corporate stuff. And it's like tumbleweed. One or two likes, probably your mum and your best friend. 1 or 2 likes, your mum and your best friend. Your message isn't getting through to anyone. So think about like the messaging that you want to get across with those corporate aspects of it. And you want to share about your business. You want to shout about what you do. You want to shout about the skills that you got, the people that you're looking for, who you help. But you can do that through a certain way of like injecting your personality into it, can't they? And storytelling and sharing a bit more about things that resonate with people. It doesn't have to be just corporate buy my thing. And we touched on that really in the subtle art of selling kind of episode, didn't we? So go back to that one if anyone wants to hear that. But the rules apply on LinkedIn as well as Instagram or anything. And I feel like if you do ever get a comment on your LinkedIn going, this isn't Facebook, I have to do a stupid accent when I do that, because I'm like, that's what that comment comes across in my mind as. If I ever read that comment, know that whoever wrote it, that's how I'm taking that comment in my mind. This isn't Facebook. No, it's not Facebook. But also, I don't want to be bored on this platform either. So I want to hear a bit about this, and I want an inject of that if it's right for your audience and what you're trying to get across. Again, the people that say those kind of things are not experts on LinkedIn, and their content is potentially flopping. And also, they've probably not even got a profile photo of them on their profile.
That's right.
Like if anybody says anything mean or bad on LinkedIn, it happens every now and again, like every social platform. Go and have a little look at theirs and just see how amazing theirs are. It won't be. So you can disregard that.
That's it.
And just move on. And that's it. For us, Sparkhouse was a great place to start and grow the Brand New podcast from.
The fact that they have flexible office spaces and lots of different areas to work in makes it great to spark creativity.
It's also a space that enables businesses to grow, which perfectly aligns to the messaging that we wanted to get across with the Brand New podcast, to enable businesses to grow along with us.
So if you're looking for a collaborative office space in the city that will grow as your business grows, then email sparkhouse@lincoln.ac.uk. You can also find that email address in the show notes of this episode. So there's obviously a huge range of content ideas that you can share on LinkedIn. We're not going to sort of break down those, but it's probably quite useful that we kind of share a couple of things that we talk about, or types of content that we produce and share. So for me, my kind of content pillars are along the lines of what's going to help people feel really confident and brave in front of the camera. Some behind the scenes that kind of show what I'm doing, my perspective of what a photo shoot might be, which can sometimes be a bit technical and maybe not be fully understood by the audience. But if it gives that impression of, I know what I'm talking about, these are the reasons I do these things, it can be quite interesting. And also there's always like so many hobbyist photographers as well that always kind of like to geek out on those kind of things. I've been showing off lights and equipment and things. And then a few little personal areas as well. So personal side of my business and running a business, which I think a lot of people like to share, and it's mutual ground, isn't it? You know, there's a lot of solo business owners out there. And then personal achievements like fitness races, dogs, holidays, those kind of things I just like to touch on now and then. And I kind of deliver all those in different formats, which is based loosely on where I'm at the time. So if I can do a bit of video content and I've got the time to do it, I'll do that. I'll set up the cameras in the studio, get the lights out, do some content to camera, edit it up really nicely. And that tends to be more the advice-based stuff, because if I can show you what it's like to be in that position there and then and show that I'm doing it and I'm practicing what I'm preaching, I think that goes a long way. There'll be behind the scenes videos as well, where I'll set cameras up on photo sessions as well and just try and capture what that feels like. Again, breaking down the barriers of somebody coming for a headshot session or enrolling in my services. This is what it looks like to do it. Just try and leave no stone unturned in that sense. Obviously share a lot of photos if I can, either work, as in work that photos that I've created for work, and often I do those as a PDF. So if you upload a file to a LinkedIn post, it will share it as a carousel essentially, so you can flick through it, which is a lot more engaging than when you add 5 or 6 photos and it crops in on some and does some, just displays them in a weird way. So yeah, that would be the sort of main uses. I very rarely do a text only post, which I don't know where the algorithm's at now, but at one point LinkedIn did go back to kind of favouring text only, and I think it just mixes it up sometimes for the sake of it. But whether that's to stop it becoming too video led or too visually led, I'm not sure what the plans are. How about you?
I quite like a mix though, you know, when you're saying it's too much of one thing would make people just kind of zone out a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I think a good mix of stuff. So I think a text post could be all right every now and again.
Yeah.
But every single post being a text post, people just drone out.
Yeah.
Every post being a video, every post being a thing. Like, you need a bit of a blend and a mix. I think that's what hooks people in and keeps it a bit more interesting.
Yeah.
So they want to like, oh, what's he doing now? Oh, what's that? And actually, again, like stopping our audience overthinking stuff as well. And like, oh, I need to do video because that's the ultimate thing to drive engagement and algorithm.
Yeah.
What's the thing that you want to post? Like, what can you post? What do you want to post?
Yeah.
Posted is better than not posted because you're overthinking doing the thing that makes the algorithm work better. Just get the bloody thing on there.
That's true. Yeah.
So we're almost thinking about it like that. Most of my like top performing posts are always never talking about personal branding or work.
Oh, really?
So yeah, they're talking about things that like discussion things, like something will happen and it will have annoyed me, or there'll be something that I want to share and I think, why has this happened? But again, it's in the realms of like business, or there's something. Biggest one was the TV license. I got a TV license letter through the door because I hadn't renewed it, and it's got big red letters all over it, like basically threatening me, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, but I don't watch any of the channels that you need me to pay for, so I'm not paying for it. Stop threatening me, was basically the gist of the post. A lot of people apparently on LinkedIn hate the BBC. So that generated a lot of anger and stuff like that. So it wasn't like I didn't do that on purpose, but again, I was showcasing a bit of life and a bit about me and a bit about like business. Would you do business like that? Is threatening as a business model a great idea, or actually nurturing your clients, giving them what they want. So that was the gist of the post. And I think, again, a lot of people, because it's a business platform, related to that and had opinions on that. So that was great. But again, it's like my posts after my weekend, I'll do like, you know, a Monday, what I got up to at the weekend, because it resonates with people.
Yeah.
People, again, want to work with the human behind the brand because of who they are as a person. So I show them who I am as the person. And that's part of my content pillars, is that. And then obviously personal branding and digital marketing is in there as well. So then later in the week, I'll normally share a bit of maybe a client success story that we've had, and then also I don't know, some things that as I'm working with clients will pop up. There'll be a question that they've got, or there'll be a query that they've had, or there's something that's happened whilst working with them that I won't necessarily say, this client, this, but I'll be like, oh, I had a client the other day, and we went through that, but then we resolved it by this, and this is how we got around it, kind of thing. So it's telling a story. It's taking people, again, behind the scenes of what I'm doing and how I'm working with people, but it's showing that there was a resolution to it. And if they're in that same boat, there's a way around it.
That's it. There's a good chance that if it's been a question for one client, that other people are thinking the same thing, isn't it?
Yeah. So address that in the content that you're sharing as well. So those are my main ones, really. There'll be other stuff sprinkled in again, just showing people life, and also a bit of confidence building like yourself. Mine is personal branding, that's the business. They've got to be brave to start personal branding. If they've got no confidence, then they're not going to do it. No matter how many things I say, do this, do this, do this. You're scared, you're not going to do it. So part of what I'm doing as well is getting them over that fear. And again, part of me showcasing a lot of me is that, look, nothing bad happens.
Yeah, that's it.
And actually, what does happen is more engagement comes and good things happen.
Yeah.
And yes, you need to be sharing your business and what you're offering, because people need to know that and what you do. But that's not going to get the engagement. It's not going to get the eyes on it. You also need the eyes on stuff. So again, a mix of those things. Too much of one, you're just entertaining your audience. Too much of the other ones, you're turning them off. So it's getting that balance and that mix right with it. There's so many ideas with content, isn't there? Like literally, once you pop, you really cannot stop with content.
Yeah.
There's ideas everywhere.
And I think some people might, if you consider the work you do or the services you offer to be boring, it then becomes incredibly hard to communicate about them. But going back to your client or your previous clients and thinking about what was their experience about, what are the challenges they came up against that I solved for them with my services, and focus on those key elements, suddenly you've then got more exciting reasons to be sharing about what you do, even if you consider it, well, people are just going to think this is a bit boring if I post about this. You know, and that's where the personal experience comes into it, doesn't it? Of like, what's your experience delivering these services? You know, how do you feel about it? And like, sharing that can help people see it in a different light. And what's boring to you, because you do it every day, isn't necessarily boring to the person whose issue and problem you're going to solve. So again, it's like, if you don't share that person's not going to get their issue or problem solved, but they're not going to get it resolved. So that's not boring at all. I also think sometimes of like the most boring industries, I see some really great personal brands because the industry is boring, or I'd perceive it to be boring, but the person isn't. And I'm going to work with that person when I need, because there's certain... That's true,
Again, I refer to this as an example all the time because it's an easy one for me, like accountants, because one of the founders of Quirk is an accountant. She's got an amazing personal brand. Accounts to me is boring. I don't want to do anything. Have anything to do. It's so boring. I'm not a spreadsheet person. I don't want anything to do with that. I didn't go to her because I thought she'd equally make it as boring. I went to her because I was like, oh, at last, someone that's not going to make that boring. Yes, we're going to get what we need done with the account side of stuff, but it's going to be fun around that. Oh my gosh, let me have that person. So again, it's the personalities behind it as well, isn't it? And that's why personal branding's great, because you can show your personal brand, your personality, and attract the people that want that, no matter what industry you're in. You could have a boring astronaut, couldn't you? You wouldn't want to be stuck on the moon with for weeks on end ever, right? So like there's different levels. It doesn't mean the industry, it doesn't mean it has to be boring. It just means maybe how it's been put across in the past because of people being on LinkedIn, putting it across in the past in a very boring way because it's a professional platform. That's what you have to do. No, you don't.
No. So this week's actionable step, we want you to go onto LinkedIn. If you haven't got a profile already, we want you to look at setting one up and optimizing your profile. Or if you have been on the platform and you've had a little play around, or maybe you're a little bit more experienced, it's time for that profile review. So go through, have a little look at your profile photo, your banner photo. Are you giving as much information in those two visually as you can about you and what you do? Then onto your bio and your About Me section and your content. Go back through your content, your recent posts. If you're not posting that frequently, can you look to kind of engage your audience a little bit more and think about how you're going to do that? Or if you are posting regularly, have a little look at your stats. So if you go into your, is it phrased as statistics or analytics?
Yeah, analytics.
Analytics, and that'll tell you within the last 30 days, 90 days, whichever category you put it on, which of your posts perform best. And from there, you can kind of look at, okay, why did that get so much engagement? What were you talking about? What were the topics covered? What was the format? Was it a video, a photo, or just a text post? And from there, you can start planning some more content and making the most out of LinkedIn.
So make sure you follow the Brand New Podcast on LinkedIn in our Brand New Podcast group and ask us any questions you may have in there. And also follow myself and Toby as well. We're on LinkedIn. If you want to chat to us, jump on the platform, connect with us, chat with us. It's what we're on there for.
Here's to branding you.